You cannot change anything unless you're willing to understand it, and you cannot understand it unless you're willing to explore it. A good debate doesn't get ugly. We may talk of things that make people feel vulnerable. Beliefs held sacred may be challenged because of life experiences. We are not trying to make people wrong or to incite a riot, but simply explore. Welcome to the Elite Thinking Club. All right, welcome guys. All good?
Hi.
Oh, you're right.
Good. Yeah, good to see you again. Good to see you again. Right. Um, let's continue where we left off last time, yeah? Last time we was talking about conspiracies and it was a two-part episode. We really went in on some really sensitive stuff because, you know, not saying all different walks of life, but we are all different walks of life, yet we'd all heard the same thing or the same stories or similar stories about certain things. One in particular, if you haven't watched it already, go watch the previous episode where we talk about a place in the UK called Bentwaters and UFO sightings, alien sightings, and, you know, accounts of weird stuff going down. So if you know anything about that, comment, let us know, write into us, and yeah, tell us what you know, and we'll share it on the next one. Another thing, the sayings on the walls, on the board. If you want to go fast, go alone. If you want to go far, go together. And that was from the episode when we talked about enhancements in sports. Like, is it possible for us to better ourselves? Can we beat records like Usain Bolt's record for the 100-meter sprint, for example? Is anybody ever going to beat that? Very interesting. Lucas brought that one through, and it got us thinking because there's team sports and there's individual sports. And what kind of person are you? Are you a team player or are you an individual player? Remember the talk I said, like, I don't like when I feel like I've given it my all and someone else from the team let the side down because it's not fair. And if you are an individual, you know then that if you didn't win, you only had yourself to blame. Interesting. Let us know what you think. Let us know what you think. Right, so I'm going to change the whiteboard, but here's the question for this one. I put a poll out to people on Instagram and Facebook that follow the Elite Thinking Club, and I asked them about the COVID-19 vaccine. And it was a simple yes or no. I didn't ask anything else. I just put COVID vaccine, yes or no. And the results were exactly 50-50. Couldn't believe it. You couldn't make it up. It was 50-50. And just so you're all aware, it was 12 on one side and 12 on the other side. So out of 24 people, it was a direct split. And I'm going to pass over to the guys and say, firstly, are you yes or no?
I'll go first, and I will be the first. No.
Wow. Liz is a no.
Yes,
Chicken?
I was one of your
Lucas?
no's.
I'm a firm yes.
Lucas is a yes. Chris? Chicken?
Yeah, I'll say yes.
I'm with Liz. I'm a no. I'm a no. And it's right. Okay. We're gonna go into why that is, and I don't mind going first. Personally, everything we've talked about in the past, in previous episodes, about basically, I have trust issues. I have real serious trust issues with my government. Like, I am more on the side of believing conspiracies than I am of thinking it's complete hope, it's rubbish, it's nonsense, and that's because I'm not saying people that don't believe it are ignorant. I'm just saying too much has happened in my lifetime that I've witnessed that backs my, argument against taking the vaccine. I do have trust issues, and you know, I'm then very skeptical about it all. But I'm interested to know from one of you, like, what you guys think.
I'm kind of the very similar to what you've said. Also, it's a lot is based around trust, but having done a bit of research and just the way the whole thing has been dealt with, there is definitely corruptness there, and we get told what certain things to promote, but we don't get necessarily told the negatives. And so, yeah, I just, I, I just don't trust it. I trust myself and my immune system more than I trust what they've concocted together. So
Yeah.
I feel a little bit like a lab rat if I was to have it. You know, a lot of vaccines take many years normally and lots of research, etc. So I just feel like if others want to have it, it's absolutely entirely their choice, and it's absolutely entirely up to them what they choose to do with their body. And I just feel like the same is for me. It's a different choice. So
All right. Yeah, yeah, cool. All right. Chicken, Lucas. You're obviously yes. And
sell it to us. Sell it to
yeah, yeah.
us.
I
Go
mean,
on, Chris.
I, I'm not saying that I don't think it wouldn't have effects on you, like your immune system and stuff like that. I just think that it might possibly happen in 40 years' time. And by that point, I probably won't be around by then. So that's why I'm just going to take it. But I don't, personally, I don't think the vaccine, like I said, will do too much damage to you. I think it's more to do with money. Me with the vaccination, I think that they already possibly had it before the COVID. I think they would have already possibly been doing testings on it because I just don't see how they can bring a vaccine out that quick. I mean, Johnson's babies are jumping on board now. You know what I mean? It's like, what's going on there? You
Mm.
know, and I mean, that's another one because they're sort of saying it's 60% going to help you. And I think, well, you wouldn't go and buy something that's only 60% going to help you.
No.
Um,
And the thing for me is that when I heard people were dying from it, and even that guy in America, the doctor that was 52, he died after 2 weeks having it. That was enough for me. It kind of made me. I'm more scared of the vaccine than I am the virus.
yeah.
Wow, well said. Well said.
Yeah, I do think that there could possibly be side effects, but I think maybe possibly later on down the line. The other thing is, like I said to you earlier, Jules, though, is I think it's going to become a point where you're going to have it because they're going to restrict it to go on places like holidays, stuff like that.
Hmm.
So I just think to myself, it's not going to be battling. So I'll probably just have it.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I've heard quite a few people say that, but I don't know how that would 100% be able to happen everywhere with everything because, you know, that kind of affects elements of our human rights.
Yeah.
So I kind of, I think that's why I'm more hopeful to leave it for as long as I can without having it.
I was going to add to
I
that, but
just
I
I
just want to
just
hear from
feel
Lucas.
like,
Yeah, go on.
yeah, sorry. I just feel like, you know, yeah, you know, because it has caused, and the whole thing with you know, they've said that it reduces you know, male sperm concentration by 516%, and it causes sterilization in women.
Yeah.
That's where I think they're not going to be, there's human rights elements there where, you know, they're not going to be able to force people to have it, because if there's like a 25-year-old lady and she hasn't had children yet, she has the right to create life, she has the right to
Hmm.
have a
Hmm.
family. So
Yep.
therefore, if that vaccine, they've said it
Yeah.
has a chance of causing her potential sterilization, she can't be forced to have it and then be denied to go on holiday. You know, there would be so many court cases from those
Yeah,
elements. But anyway.
and sorry, yeah, Lucas, I'm gonna touch on. You know what? I'm gonna come back to that. Liz. Lucas, it's yours. Go on.
Um, I just think that the two vaccines are in the UK at the moment. One's from Oxford University and one's from Cambridge University. And I've got not my direct friend, but like a mutual friend who's actually been working on the Cambridge vaccine. So I can tell you now, it is not run by the government. It is literally the only thing the government have done is provided funding. They've had no input into this at all. So if you're talking about trust issues, I don't think that's the main one main reason why you should be against the vaccine.
Mm-hmm.
So obviously you've had Cambridge and Oxford have been rivalry since day one. They have rowing races down the Thames. Like, it's a joke. They
Vaccine competition.
So they're obviously trying to outcompete each other with the vaccination. And it has been a year since Corona. Well, some people say that it's been longer than a year, but a year officially. We're coming up to it. So I get what you're saying, that it hasn't been thoroughly tested, but they've been working 24/7 on this for a whole year. But also from sort of a personal point of view, I'm paying. There's so many uni students across the UK. I'm paying £9,000 a year to sit at home looking at my laptop, listening to someone give me a lecture, and I'm getting a third of the online tuition that I should be getting. And the unis have all turned around in the UK and said, I've signed petitions to reduce fees for everything, and they've turned around and said, no, online lectures is just as good as being in person, blah, 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 all of this. And then on top of that, I'm actually paying rent for a house in Leicester, which is where I'm studying as well, but I'm at home near London. So I'm getting shafted money-wise. Luckily, I'm in a fortunate position, whereas other people, they've had to take loans and stuff.
Yeah.
And I know that I'm only Lucas from outside of London, but this goes across the country for the amount of people. And if people are going to say, I don't trust the government, which is why I'm not going to take the vaccine, and to limit people's, like, what they can do, like students wise, like there's so much money that is going wasted, then I think the chance of you not trusting the government, even though the universities are the ones working for the vaccine, is a bit unfair, if that makes sense.
Well said, Lucas, man. Well said.
Coming from,
yeah.
The chance of like infertility.
I was going to say, yeah, speak your truth, Lucas, yeah, 100%. And I'm glad that you said that, because you represent a part of us that, you know, sometimes we can forget because we get so caught up in our own little world and our own little lives. And sometimes we're not mindful enough like that. So well said, mate. Well said. I didn't know that it lowers the ability to have kids or lowers the sperm rate. I think that's
516%.
I mean, isn't that something
a huge percentage?
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say, like, because all right, myself,
the information is out there, and they have put that out there on the websites. But
well, I'm definitely out now.
They're
I don't
not
care.
They're not promoting it on the media. That's what I'm saying. So certain things are promoted, and
Trust
certain things
me.
aren't.
There's no way.
Just look
There's no
into
way.
it.
There's no way that I will ever.
Body, look into it.
Yeah, that's like someone say, "I tell you what, yeah, do you want to cut off one of your balls?" No thanks.
This is what I'm saying. I know.
No thanks.
You wouldn't sign up to go to hospital now to be sterilised. I wouldn't. I don't want any more children. But
Lucas, tell your friend or your mutual friend at Oxford, mate. Did you know that you're creating something that reduces sperm? Actually, I'm gonna speak for a few. Yeah, talk about where you're coming from and speak your truth. I'll speak mine, bro. Semen is my gift from God. It is what gives me the strength to get up and do things. Because when you shoot your bolt, you ain't got motivation to do nothing.
I'm out of this conversation.
Yeah, Liz, I'm gonna have to educate you. But not that you don't know this. Of course you know this. When a man shoots his bolt, like loses his semen, he's very depleted. He's in a very low state of wanting to do anything at all other than roll over and sleep, right? So if you're reducing that in a man, if you're taking away half of that, then you're literally taking away half a man's drive to do anything in at all. And for that, I'm out. If this was Dragon's Den, yeah, I'm out. No way. I'm not putting it in me. Plus, I wanted to go to a serious one. So I've been a year and a half doing my normal stuff. And I say normal stuff because, you know, for 2019, I was still working. We had a couple lockdowns, and I was, you know, still interacting with people quite normally. Excuse me. Excuse me.
And need to get the vaccine.
Oh yeah, I'll cut one of my balls off now. And yeah, I was still doing things like even exchanging money. I was going shopping. I still go to the shop once a week. I'm in flipping Tesco's, bandana on, and I'm still shopping, so I'm still touching, it's still cross-contaminating, it's still happening. And I've gone a year and a bit and I haven't had COVID. So I'm just saying if I was to do my own research and case studies, two things. I'm very fortunate that I haven't had it yet. I've been living quite normally. So under what argument am I needing to have this?
Can I just add to that? So when Spain went into lockdown and they literally shut the country down, I was over there, and we were all worried we were going to get stuck there, not get any flights home. We managed to get flights home, and I think it was the day after we got back, they literally were stopping flights from Spain. And then I thought, gosh, that was a bit dramatic. Got back here, and a couple of weeks later, we then went into lockdown in March last year. So I was in Spain, and I had travelled there on a plane, and I had obviously travelled back on a plane when it first happened. And then I've been very similar to you. I've been shopping, Julian. I've been because I've been going to work, I've been working with public. I've been working with other, people, and I've been mixing with people. And in October last year, I had to go to do some filming in Liverpool. And as I went there, Liverpool went into lockdown. This was when the rest of the country we were just starting out in tears. So they locked Liverpool down again, and there was a bit of an uproar whilst I was there. But my point is, I travelled throughout last year to various different places due to work. And when I was on set filming in Liverpool, there were 750 of us. So that's cast, crew, stunt doubles, makeup, hair, everything, costume, caterers, everything, 750. And we were having regular testing because obviously that's, part of the processing protocol. So we were having regular testing every day. A number of us would go and have our testing done. Out of the whole week, one person out of 750 tested positive. We were all mixed together. We all stayed in the same bubble. We were all in the same hotel. But my point is, out of 750 people, one person tested positive. So I expected there to be a lot more, but there wasn't. So because I've I've been on the aeroplane a couple of times when this first had an outbreak and it was, really contagious and everything, I've expected to have had it by now. That's what I'm trying to say.
Right, yeah.
So I've, it's been a year. My life hasn't really changed other than, the entertainment side with regards to going out for meals and the socialization, going out to events and things. That element's changed, but I'm still day to day mixing with people, because of work and things. And yeah, so I just feel like I don't really need the vaccine right now.